I just said to him before I started the interview, I said, I'm going to ask you a controversial question, so ready up yourself, feet. He fix up himself like him and say, what Sparks are going to ask me now, Father God? Now, worry yourself, I won't start with that. But it is a great show here. It is the first time actually coming to a gospel show, and I have to tell you, the energy is electric. I mean, you know, when you watch cable television or you see TikTok at those things, you see the energy, but actually seeing it in person is different. So let me just say that. And this interview is actually being conducted before Rondell's performance, and I'm very excited for that because you're always consistent. I have to ask you, before we get further down into the interview, performing on shows like this requires a lot of energy. How do you maintain your energy and presence on the stage so that you don't falter, so that you don't run out of breath, so that you don't fail? I want the sauce, because I think this has to be a recipe that artists right across the board in Jamaica can utilize in their preparation.
For me, there is a physicality, but is time in God's presence. It's time giving up sleep to just go lie down before God and just hear what Him have to say, and receive strength that is not normal strength. It might sound a way, but not eating release a strength that is greater than the strength of food give you.
I think in the fitness industry now they probably call it intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. It is fasting.
It is fasting.
You know, so preparation is and preparation of the mind, and being led by not yourself, not what you want to do. So you will find that some people might call it that person going to a trance, but really and truly is that you're connecting to an energy that is higher than physical energy, earthly energy. So yeah, consistency for me, I think I would say, boy, God do something special in my life, because most times when I am on stage, when I watch back a video, I will ask the same question: where did that energy come from? You know? Yeah.
Now you talk about in this business, I think it's more of a lifestyle that you have now put forward to the public. What got you to the Lord, to the Word? What was that pivotal point in your life where you came to you and you said, this is it?
So I used to be a sound system selector back in the day. I was, them time when Pasa used to be Pasa. I was playing a sound named Artaflex with Rolex.
Wow.
Yeah, Rolex. Me and Rolex used to work the same sound. And at the same time, you know that though, womanizing come with that, naturally. But my life was that I was always looking for my wife, because I grew up with my parents and they just celebrated their 50th anniversary on Thursday. But I was always saying, which girl going to be my wife? Who is my wife? I'm going to find my wife. I found my wife, but at the same time I had an ex-girl overseas. And it was somehow my wife was going away and the girl was coming to Jamaica. So my fiance at the time was going away, and I said, okay, I'm going to play my last game.
What?
Long and short of the story is that I got caught. And I went home to talk to my mother about it, because my entire life mashed up in my face now. And I went home to my mother. And when I went home, my father said, your mother not here, she's at church. So if you want to talk to her, go to church. So I went to church to talk to my mother, just to tell her what I go on. And the moment I sat beside her, and I said, Mommy, I want to talk to you. She said, don't talk to me, talk to God. She never knew what it was about. So it was a special moment in my life, because she said, talk to God. Okay. By the time she said talk to God, one of the deacons walked up to me and said, Rondell, you came to say something. Me never know me came to say something. And so they stopped church and said, Rondell wants to say something. Me never know what me want to say. They gave me the microphone, and I had the microphone in my hand, and something from my belly just started crying help. To the point some of them thought I was in some deep trouble or kind of something, 1 year later. But long and short,
do you think it was a release of your pain?
long and short of it was that I never knew what I was saying, help. And they prayed for me. But before I left, the pastor said to me, Rondell, if you believe that God can fix this, whatever the problem is, he said, you don't have to tell me. He said, if you believe that God can fix it, by the time you reach home, it's fixed. I promise you. I got home maybe about an hour and a half later, and my fiancée treated me like she did cheat on me. To this day, every time we talk about it, she said, I don't know what happened. But she offered me a forgiveness that was not humanly. It wasn't from a human. And I remember saying to God, I said, God, before I got home though, I had said in the car, I said, God, if you fix this and give me my family, I said, I'm going to do the rest of my life. And I kid you not, I went home and it was like an experience. It was an experience that I can't explain. See? And so I saw my life. And then I just leave music. So 3 years, left music for 3 years. And then, whoa, we're in Mandeville. It's so strange because how I got back into music was that there was a murder in Mandeville one Sunday evening. A little boy named Zidane in 2005. And how I got back into music was I was teaching, and the murder happened the Sunday evening at a football match, drive-by shooting. And Monday I'm talking to my 10-year-old kids. I said, how you feel to know that you can leave your house and somebody just drive by and shoot you? And they started telling me, and I started writing on what they were saying. And the next thing I knew, a melody popped in my head. Peace, love, and unity. That's what we need. Peace, love, and unity in each community. And we don't need no more gunshot. And so it started out now where the music was never even gospel music. It was music to deal with the issues of Jamaica. It's just that. So I would have, and I mean, it's like every day something happened, and the Spirit of God just write the song. I would buy the cleaner, and the cleaner says 7 dead last night, and I hear rise up this morning, the news lick me down flat. 7 dead last night, 5 of them by gunshot, 6 of them civilian, 6 of them civilian, the other one a cop, she dead by police, by whatever and rape. And the songs just started coming, them just start coming. And I recognize, whoa. But I left out something. After I recorded the first song that I wrote where the kids gave me, I recorded it the same day with these guys from C#. And the next morning I went to school and I said to the teachers, listen this and tell me how it's going. And them finished listening it. And a man walked up to me and said, where did you get that new Bob Marley song? And that's when I recognized, I said, whoa, the man said Bob Marley. You know? And so that's where my transition from the world. I tell you who Rondell used to be. Rondell used to be the selector who tell the man them say stand up in the fire, and them have to stand up. When I say stand up, stand up. When I say take off the new brand shirt, show it in the fire, them have to take it off and show it. And then the Lord starts showing me, him say, the giftings of the Lord are not irrevocable. They are irrevocable. I don't take them back. Him say if you ever get it right, you will see who you are. You know?
How did you earn the moniker Rondell Positive?
It was Ellis Kelly. So these songs that I was getting when I started out, it was beating Jamaican, the crime, beating the wickedness. Still. But that's where I started. And so one time I drove and I gave her a CD, and people in St. Thomas, she was playing the music and she said, the teacher man from St. Thomas, and him so positive. So first I was called Positive. And then there was this youth from Trinidad. There's this youth from Trinidad who is a gospel artist. His name Positive too. And at the same time there was a feud between Angel and her next Angel. And she changed her name to the Angel.
Yeah. And
I was laughing and I said, and I'm gonna make a feud happen between me and this youth. So I said, I just went and put my Rondell before the Positive. And that's how the Rondell Positive came.
You've been putting in the works now for my controversial statement, because we've been seeing on social media what seems to be an increase in crime. I mean, they're saying that the statistics are saying other words, whereas a number of Jamaicans feel as though there is an increase in crime, right? Today, as we speak, while we're here at Realignment It is Boxing Day. This is a day that one of the events that is a landmark event in Jamaica, Sting, should have been taking place. Last minute cancellations. We're not going to get into the business aspect of it, but it's a landmark event in Jamaica's dancehall entertainment history. But here we are, that's not taking place, but you know what's taking place? Realignment. And it's not an empty event. And the people are singing joyously with a lot of energy, singing word for word with all the artists, and they're going to be singing word for word with your songs as well. Do you think this is a signal right now to the leaders of our country?
It's more than a signal. So you see, Jamaica Sparks. Jamaica is so dear to me. Jamaica is the only country on earth that relates to the world like how Jesus relates to the world. Tell you what I mean. There's something called the map. We have a motto that says out of many one people. Then we have an anthem that reflects the two things that scripture say. The scripture say there are two things that cause people to die. A lack of vision and a lack of knowledge. When we are destroyed, it's a result of us not having vision concerning something, or us not having knowledge of something. So it's a give us vision lest we perish, knowledge send us from above. Then we have a pledge where Rondell individually, not Rondell and Sparks, Rondell said before God and every human being on earth, I, Rondell, pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage. And every time it is saying my and I, and then it says so that Jamaica may. How? First step, under God. First step, under God. Increasing beauty. Second, fellowship are the problem that we have. We can't fix the fellowship problem. We can't deal with one another. Then prosperity. So I've always said, I've been saying this for 20 years. If you check every interview where Rondell Positive him say it. It's not that the Prime Minister and the government not saying something when them say prosperity. But the truth is we can't get to prosperity. We can't get to the top of the step if we don't start at the bottom of the step. So it's under God first. This is God writing the Jamaican pledge to a man saying the opposite of what God said to Abraham. God said to Abraham, you are going to be the father of many nations. We said to God, Rondell alone decide that him going to be the father of every human on earth. Him going to make sure say every human is advanced. See? So you see what the country name, Singapore came and copied Jamaica. What Singapore did was what Jamaica did not do. Singapore went and Lee Kuan Yew went and talked to the people and he says, no, your first focus is Singapore. Our first focus is not Jamaica. No politician is writing a manifesto that is based on the purpose of Jamaica. What is the purpose of Jamaica? The purpose of Jamaica is to, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity. Then she play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. Sparks, tell Rondell, the whole earth now come to Jamaica every time for everything.
All the time. Every
time, the earth, anywhere in the world you go, the people are, if Sparks goes somewhere and speak, they say, she's Jamaican.
Or forget something trending, some Jamaican inflection, some
Absolutely.
Jamaican reference.
Let me talk about it. When we talk about the TikTok thing them now, look at it. Who is Nicki Minaj? Nicki Minaj is a worldwide icon.
Pop star.
But everything that she's doing, she comes and click on a Jamaican thing and she connect with a little Jamaican youth.
And Cardi
B and all of these people are connecting with a little Jamaican youth. Why? You see, the world know who we are. The world see us and the world know who we are. But the thing is that we pastors, politicians, businessmen, most of us don't know who a Jamaican is. We miss who a Jamaican is. And who a Jamaican is.
Think we're too distracted?
Cool, no? I want you to look at a youth named Bob Marley. Look at that little man. Bob Marley. Bob Marley understood Jamaica and Jamaican. That is why Bob Marley became who Bob Marley is. One of the secrets of Bob Marley is that he understood. If you notice, he fought He fought for the Jamaican. He fought for this social development of the people. He was a man trying to liberate the minds of the people to get them to see themselves, to know who you really be as a Jamaican.
How do you think we can get back to being centered? Because when we reference prayer and fasting, and I think because we see so many stories about the church and a lot of disenchanting stories about the church, I think when we reference prayer and fasting, people just snicker. Whereas prayer and fasting are actually rooted not only in religion but also in science, because it does a lot of positive things to our minds and our bodies. How do we get Jamaicans to be centered and pay attention now to prayer and fasting so that they can renew their minds and bodies?
I'll tell you. It's yes, it's church. Yes, it's church, but it's bigger than church. Let me explain what I mean. God is not just a God of church. God is a God of nations. If you read the Bible, you realize he speaks a lot about nations. In Acts, he talks about the fact that he determined where I would be born, where I would be domiciled. And everything that he does is for the nations. So here's what it is. God has sent me for the last 3 years on a mission. When God took me out of the music, he just grabbed me and take me out of the music sudden and said, go back in the classroom, go back to teach. And him send me go teaching at the US. Let me tell you what I learned in the US. The reason why the US is considered a world power is simply their belief system. So every morning, right across the US, this is what happened when I was growing up in Jamaica. Every morning across the US, every youth is saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Listen what them pledging allegiance to? The flag. But we pledge allegiance to God and fixing humanity. So I have told the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I've told the opposition leaders, I've told them, we know the answer to Jamaica. The answer is getting Jamaican people to recognize who they are. It is written about us. Jesus answered the questions when the devil came ravaging him. Said, it is written. It is written about us, who we are. But most of the youth them don't know, because we take these things out of the school. We take these things out of the school. I remember in 2019, 2020, we were doing some tours, telling Jamaican youths who they were. Ask them. Jamaica was shifting, youths were shifting. We were meeting with the so-called gunmen and showing them their purpose. Men wept. Men say, we never know our purpose exists for we. So what we say is, the answers are here. But what has to be done is that we have to come together as a nation. We have to now recognize that it is more than just Rondell and Sparks and how it affects Rondell. Because the truth is, if one of the hand get chopped off, it affects the whole body.
Indeed.
And Jamaica, that is it. I keep everywhere I go on a stage, my favorite line is to say, greetings from the greatest country on earth. Because I know that I am from the greatest country on earth. We compete with people who have 250 million and 400 million and China who have billions and India with billions, and they look at a little Jamaica and they're like, we want to do business with you. Yeah. We need to realign. We need to know who we are.
Rondell, I could continue this conversation for a very long time, but I want to allow you the opportunity to just kind of center and get focused because your performance is upcoming. But thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for this reasoning. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you and the work that you're doing.
It's a blessing, Sparks.